A lot of people ask me how you should open an old vintage bottle of wine. So anything that's between 10 and 15 years and 15 years plus, you generally need to use a more gentle corkscrew. So you may have your original waiter's friend, or you may use a screw pull or whatever you're using. And sometimes these can be a bit hard. So what happens is older cork starts to deteriorate, so the integrity of the cork isn't there, and you find that as soon as you start using your waiter's friend, you push down on it, and before you know it, you've got a crumbling, broken cork inside the bottle just as you're about to commence service, which isn't ideal. So a two-pronged corkscrew has been designed many years ago. It's called the ASO, which is AH-SO, or two-pronged corkscrew, as a lot of people like to use it. So it's relatively easy to use, and it's ideal because it puts less pressure on the cork, and it means that you can take out the cork usually without any problems whatsoever. So I've already taken the foil off the top. I've taken it down to this bottom layer here, not the top one. That's normally advisable. So I've done that ready to go. And then I will show you that you have one prong that's slightly longer than the other one. So we're going to insert that into one side of it and then slowly lever it down and then put the other side in and then just lever it down. So I'm just going to push it in. You have to be fairly forceful with it. Obviously this is not an old bottle of wine because this is for demonstration purposes. So the cork is actually still really, really tight. So it's a little bit harder than what it might be for something that's perhaps 15 years old. So I've got it in place, and now I'm just going to go from side to side like in a rocking motion, just trying to push those prongs either side of the cork until this section reaches the top here. So you can see it's going down quite quickly. If it's a really old bottle of wine, you may want to go really, really slow with this. So this is just for demonstration purposes. And we're nearly there. So you have to use a fair amount of force, but obviously each cork is quite different. Just gonna push that last bit down. Now, once you reach this point, it's just a twisting motion and a slight pull just to try and get that cork out. So you can either put your hands through the lever or through this insert hole, or you can just wrap it around it, whichever's more comfortable for you. So I'm just going to start, and it doesn't matter whether you go clockwise or anti-clockwise. I'm just going to start, and you can see it's already pulling the cork up, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. And then when you get to about halfway, I always slightly concerned that the shorter prong is going to pop out. So you can either continue that way, or you can also hold it slightly lower down, so then you run less risk of damaging the cork. So I'm just kind of keeping hold of it by doing exactly the same motion, and then I'm nearly at the top. And then I'm just going to slightly ease that out, and you can see that the cork is out and it's completely undamaged, which is fantastic. And then once you've done that, don't forget that you need to wipe the inside as well as the outside. And obviously if it's an old wine, then you would probably be decanting this, but maybe not. So therefore it's ready to go. And that's how you use an ASO.